Today we will see the design of the control system in state space using pole placement method. Uh, Design of control system in state space using pole placement method. Pole placement method. In our syllabus, there is only one method is given mentioned over there, that is pole placement method. So we will design our control system in a state space using pole placement method. Now see here, we know x dot it is equals to ax plus bu and y it is equals to cx plus du. These equations we know. This is first is the state equation and second is the output equation. So x dot it is equals to ax plus bu and y it is equals to cx plus du. Now these equations we know. In this equation, the x is the variable, state variable, and u is my reference input and y is my controlled output. Y is the controlled output. Now see here, this equation we will convert it into the block diagram. Now see here, x dot it is equals to what? Ax plus bu. And u is my reference input. So first we will put here u, that is my reference input. This reference input is multiplied by b, so we will multiply here is b. So here we get u multiplied by b multiplied by u. Now we have to add this one. So we will put here the summation. Now this is positive. This is also positive. So we will put here again plus. Now see here, ax plus bu addition is what? X dot. So we will put here x dot. Now we get x dot here. Now we want this ax. Now here we will have the integrator. So it will integrate. So x dot, here we get x. Now this x multiplied by a, so we will have here the block a, and it is given here. Now see here, this is ax and this is bu. Ax plus bu it is equals to x dot. Now this x we get here, that is x dot integration of this one, so we get x here. Now the equation is y it is equals to cx plus bu. Now x is here, we will multiply here by c, so we will put the block c here. Here again it is cx plus du, so again we have the summing point is there and both are positive, so we will put plus sign over there. Now it is x multiplied by c, so we have cx here. Now we want du. Here is the u. Now see here is the u. So what we will do here, we will take from here, we will put here one block, that is d, and this we will add here. Now see here, this is x into c, that is cx, plus d into u, that is du, and here we get y, that is my controlled output. So here we have this block diagram from this equation. See here, once again we will see in simple way. in simple way. Now we know the state equation, that is x dot it is equals to ax plus bu, y it is equals to cx plus du. X dot is ax plus bu. Now u is my input, so here is my input, it is multiplied by b, so I have multiplied by b, so here we have b into u. Now plus a into x we want, so what happens here, the sum of this one it is equals to x dot, so I will put here one summation point and output of this one is becomes my x dot. Okay, now x dot I will integrate this one, so I will get the x here. So what happens here, I will have this x multiplied by a, so here I will have a into x plus b into u, that is x dot. So here is the x is there, y it is equals to cx plus du, here is the c into x, so I will put here c multiplied by x, that is cx, and here again I will put, this is summing point, so this is plus, so I will put here the summing point, both are positive, so I will put plus plus sign over there, and here is the cx and this is u, I will put another block, that is d, that is d here, and this du comes here, so cx plus du, that is nothing but equals to my y. So we have this type of system from states equation, now this is my simple one feedback system is there, from my x dot it is equals to ax plus bu and y it is equals to cx plus du. Now see here, in the pole placement method, the first is the system variables must be measurable. System variables must be measurable, that means it must be available at any time, otherwise we cannot design the control system using the pole placement method. This is my condition, system variables must be measurable, so that means it is measurables and it must be available and must be AVI available. Okay, so we can design this system using the pole placement, second, system must be fully controllable. This is condition. If it is not controllable, even though also we can design, if it is, the system must be fully controllable, this is the condition, if these conditions is not satisfying, that means system is not controllable, then system, if not controllable, then it must be stabilizable. Otherwise, if the system is not controllable, if the system is controllable, that means it is stabilizable. But if it is not controllable, even though also that we can have the stabilizable system. So if it is not controllable, then it must be stabilizable. That means my system must be stabilizable at least. Then and then only we can design the control system using by pole placement method. These are my conditions. Some of the conditions which has to be satisfied, and then only we can design the system using the pole placement method. First is the, my system variable must be measurable and must be available at any time. The system must be fully controllable. It is must. If it is there, it is okay. If it is not controllable, then it must be stabilizable. Now see here, if the system is controllable, If the system is controllable, that means it is stabilizable. That means it is stabilizable. Then the things is that if system, we can write down the uh, if the system is controllable, if the system is controllable, that means I can put the poles at any desired location which I want, and then we can find out the state feedback matrix, gain matrix, by which, by using that gain feedback matrix, we can put the pole at any desired location, at any desired location. Now see here, suppose, if suppose let us say, assume that consider this is my S plane is there, and my system is completely controllable. That means all the poles are lying in the left half of the S plane, left half of the S plane. Now let us say this is -1, this is -2, and this is -3. This is -2, -1, -1, -2, and -3. These are my three poles. Now see here, these are the my poles of the system. These are the poles of the systems. So my system is completely stable, completely stable. My system is also controllable. My system is also controllable, as well as my system is stabilizable, at least, and stabilizable also. Now I know that my poles are in the left half of the S plane. I know that my poles in the left half of the S plane, but I want to change the position of this pole. But I want to change the position of this pole. Now I want any other desired location, any other desired location. Instead of 1, I want 0.5. If suppose this I wants to move to the 0.5, this I wants to move to the 1.75 minus, and this is 2.5, and this is 2.5. Now see here, this is my desired pole, that is 0.5, desired pole, that is 0.5 minus 0.5 minus 1.75 and minus 2.5, minus 2.5. Now see here, when my system is like this one, when my system is like this one, with the help of these systems, I got the pole at -1, -2, and -3, -3. But now I want to design the system with some desired pole location. I want this is at one pole must be at -0.5, second pole must be at -1.75, and third pole must be at -2.5, -2.5. How I can do this one? How I can do this one? So I have to do something in my control system. I have to do with something with my control system, so that my system will have becomes the poles at -0.5, -1.75, and -2.5, -2.5. This I will achieve. This I will achieve. I will add something in the feedback. I will add something in the feedback, and using that feedback values, I will have some desired location of the pole. Desired location of the pole. Now see here. Now see here, for this one, for this pole placement method, for pole placement method, for this one, I will use the control signal. My control signals, that is U is my reference input. Now here I will use it as a my control signal. U is a control signal, control signal. Now I will use this control signal I will use this control signals which is based on my feedback. So u it is equals to minus k into x, minus k into x. This is my equation for the control system, control signals or the control laws. U it is equals to minus k into x, minus k into x. This k is a state feedback gain matrix, state feedback gain matrix, state feedback gain matrix. K is always 1 into n matrix. There is only one row and n number of columns are there. Always remember, k is a 1 into n matrix. That means there is only one row and n number of columns, so here what happens, here we will not use any input, and what here I will do, I will put here the minus k here, and I will give it here. This is x minus k into x. This is minus k. This is minus k. X into minus k, that is minus kx, and it is given here. Okay. So this becomes my u. This becomes my u. Now u is given to the b as well as u is given to the d, and now this is my control system. Now I will put the values of the k. I will choose the values of the k in such a way that I will have my desired pole location. I will have my desired pole. Desired means I want something to be changed. My pole location has to be changed from one place to another place. Okay. So that desired locations I can achieve by using the variable k. And this k is called as state feedback gain matrix. K is called as state feedback gain matrix, and k is a 1 by n matrix. That means one row and n number of columns are there. Now to find out the k, so major focus must be on the k. So we have to find out the value of the k. So there are the three different methods are there. We will see one by one. See here. K, we have to find out the value of the k. Now to find out the value of the k, there are three different methods. Determination of matrix k using transformation matrix k, T. Determination of matrix k using transformation matrix T. Second, it is determination of k using direct substitution method. Determination of matrix k using direct substitution method. Using direct substitution method. Now see here, first is determination of matrix K using transformation matrix T, and second is determination of matrix K using direct substitution method, and third one is the determination of K method, determination of matrix K using Ackermann's formula. Third is determination of K of matrix K using Ackermann's formula. ACK MANS, Ackermann's formula. So there are the three methods. One is we have to use the transformation matrix T, or second is the direct substitution method, and third one is the Ackermann's formula, and third one is the Ackermann's formula. So there are three methods. We will see one by one, and first we will find out the methods transformation matrix T, then we will find out the methods direct substitution methods, and then we will go for the Ackermann's formula. Now we will see the first method, method 1. Determination of matrix K using transformation matrix T. Now let x dot it is equals to ax plus bu, ax plus bu, and our control signals and control signal given by u it is equals to minus k into x, minus k into x. So this is our system, that is x dot it is equals to ax plus bu, and control signals is minus kx. This is given, and we have to determine the matrix K by using the transformation matrix T. Now there are certain steps are there. In the step 1, determine the controllability of state equation. Determine the controllability of state equation. We have to check it. Okay. Step 2, step 1, first we have to check the controllability of the state equation. Okay. Now how we can check the controllability? That is, we know MC it is equals to B dot AB dot A square B dot A raised to n minus 1 into B, like this one. So this is my controllability matrix, and if the rank of the matrix is matches with the rank of the A, then we can say that my system is fully controllable, and if it is not matching, then we can say that it is not controllable system. Now In the second step 2, determine eigenvalues of the system. Determine eigenvalues of the system. How we can find out the eigenvalues of the system? Let us say Si minus A, this equation. These equations we will find out, we will write down, it is equals to S raised to n plus A n minus 1 S raised to n minus 1, or here we will take A1 plus A2 S raised to n minus 2 plus so on, plus this is A n minus 1 into S plus A plus A. Here we will take A1, then A2 up to AN. AN is only the value, no S terms is there. Here is AN minus S, AN minus 1 multiplied by S is there. This equation. Now here we will find out Si minus A. I is the identity matrix. So Si minus A, we will get this equation. We will find out the determinant of these ones and we will have this equation in terms of S. And the coefficients are there, that is A1, A2 and so on. Then determine values of A1, A2 up to AN. That means we have to find out what is the value of A1, that we will write down here. What is the value of A2? We will write down that one. What is the value of AN? We will write down that one. So see here, here determine the eigenvalues of the system. How we can determine the eigenvalues? The formula is that Si minus A. So Si minus A, we will solve this and we will get the characteristics equation, polynomial characteristics equation, that is S raised to n A1 multiplied by S raised to n minus 1 plus A2 S raised to n minus 2 plus AN minus 1 multiplied by S plus AN, and from this equation we will determine the values of A1, A2, AN. A1 we will get A1 here, we will get A2 here, similarly we will get AN here, so we will get all the values of A1, A2 up to AN. Now after finding this one, we will find out the matrix T. Then we will find out the transformation matrix T. Step 3, determine the transformation matrix T. The transformation matrix T is given by the formula, that is MC multiplied by W. MC is my controllability matrix. MC, it is controllability matrix. And W is also a matrix and it is given by AN minus 1, AN minus 2 up to A1, and then here is 1. Now see here, then we will write down here AN minus 2, an minus 3, then here it is 1 and here is 0. Here is 0. Similarly, we will come down. Here is a1, then here is 1, here is 0, here is 0, and then here is 1 and 0, and all are 0 0. This is my w. This is my w. We will start it from an minus 1. An minus 1 we will get it from si minus a. From these equations we will get the values of an minus 1. So that an minus 1 value we will put it here, an minus 2 value we will put it here. Then we will have like this ones to the a1, and then the last term becomes 1 of that row. Then the second row will start with the an minus 2, then we have an minus 3 like these ones. Then we will have second last one is the 1 and the last is becomes 0. So we will comes down like this ones. The last but one row becomes a1, then the next one is 1, and all the elements are 0 0 0, and in the last row that first elements becomes 1 and rest of the elements are 0 0 0. All the position becomes 0 0 0. So this way we get the w. This way we get the w. Controllability matrix that we know, controllability matrix is given by b a b a square a b and a raised to n minus 1 multiplied by b. So we will put this value here in the controllability matrix. So we will get a mc, and we will have this w. So we will get the mc multiplied by w, that we will get the transformation matrix T. Transformation matrix T. Now see here, this we will find out. This we will find out if the state equation, if the state equation is in controllable canonical form, if state equation is in controllable canonical forms, then T it is equals to I. Then T it is equals to I. Here T it is equals to mw. If it is not, if the state equation is not in canonical form, controllable canonical form, then we have to use this formula. T it is equals to mc multiplied by w. Mc is my controllability matrix, which is given by this formula, and w is my another matrix which is given by this formula. So we have to find out the mc and w separately. We have to multiply it so that we will get the T. If the state equation is in the controllable canonical form, then we can directly write down T it is equals to I. T it is equals to I means what we are doing here. If the state equation, that means my value A, matrix A, is not in a controllable canonical form, then we are converting our systems into controllable canonical form by multiplying, by using this T, by using this T. So that's why we are transforming our systems into the controllable canonical form. Controllable canonical form. The purpose of to find out the T, the transformation matrix, it transforms my systems into the controllable canonical form. If it is not given, if it is there, then we will take T it is equals to I. And if my system is not into the controllable canonical form, then we will find out transformation matrix, so that it will transform my systems into controllable canonical form. How? That we will see now. See here, these are the steps. These are the steps. Now we will see the next steps. Here step is 2, step is 3, and the step is 4. In the fourth step, using using desired eigenvalues. Using desired eigenvalues, or eigenvalues is also called as closed loop poles. Desired closed loop poles using desired eigenvalues or desired closed loop poles. Now see here in this one, 0.5, 1.75 and 2.5, these are my desired poles are there. So we will this one, we will use this one. Let's say this 0.5, 1.75 and 2.5, these are my desired values. I want my pole must be shifted to this values. I want poles must be shifted to this value. So this one, this 0.5, mu1 it is equals to 0.5, mu2 it is equals to 1.75. Sorry, this is minus, and mu3 it is equals to minus 2.5. These we can call it is a eigenvalues, or we can call it is a closed loop poles. We can call it is a closed loop poles, because eigenvalues is nothing but my characteristics equation values are there. So that is nothing but my poles. So eigenvalues or eigenvalues or the closed loop poles, both are same. So mu1 it is equals to minus 0.5, mu2 it is equals to minus 1.75, and mu3 it is equals to minus 2.5. So we have to use this value. We have to using desired eigenvalues, that means using these values, using these values we have to find out, using these values, write polynomial equation. How we can write down this one? This is s minus s plus mu1, s minus mu1, s minus mu2, so on, s minus mu1, mu raised to mu, and it is equals to this equation, it is equals to s raised to n minus s raised to n plus alpha 1 s raised to n minus 1 plus alpha 2 s raised to n minus 2 plus so on, plus this is alpha n minus 1 into s plus alpha n, it is equals to 0. S plus mu1, s minus mu1, s minus mu2 up to s minus mu n, whatever the desired number of poles that we have given, we will write down here. We will multiply these together, and then we will get one polynomial equations in this form: s raised to n plus alpha 1 raised to n minus s raised to n minus 1 alpha 2 s raised to n minus 2 plus so on, plus alpha n minus 1 into s plus alpha n, it is equals to 0. Now see here, the first of this equation, the first element of this equation, polynomial equations, whose coefficient is 1. Always remember the highest order coefficient must be 1. Then we will find out alpha 1, alpha 2 and alpha n from this one. Determine the values of alpha 1, alpha 2. Determine the values of alpha 1, alpha 2 up to alpha n. So this value we have to find out. Determine the values of alpha 1, alpha 2 up to alpha n. Once we know the alpha 1 to alpha n, and this one a1 to an and a1 to an. A1 to a1 we will get it from Si minus a. So this a1 a2 up to an, this value, and we will take this value. Determine the values of alpha 1, alpha 2 and alpha n. We will use these two values a1 to an and alpha 1 to alpha n to determine the matrix, state feedback matrix, that is K. Now step 5, determine state feedback matrix K using equation K it is equals to here the values are a1 a2 up to an, and here the values are alpha 1 alpha 2 and alpha n. So here we have alpha n minus an, then alpha n minus 1 minus an minus 1. So like this one, here is alpha 1 minus a1, and here is inverse of t. See here, alpha, we have determined this alpha 1 alpha 2 from our desired location of the poles. From these ones we get the values of alpha 1 alpha 2 up to alpha n, and from Si minus a we get the values of a1 a2 and an. We will use this a1 a2 up to an and alpha 1 alpha 2 up to alpha n to determine the values of the K, that is K it is equals to alpha n minus an, alpha n minus 1 into alpha n minus 1 minus an minus 1, like this one up to alpha 1 minus a1, that matrix gets completed, multiplied by T inverse. This way we can find out my matrix K. So this is the method by which we can find out the matrix K by using the transformation matrix T. Always remember, if A is in a controllable canonical form, then the value of T it is equals to I. If A is not in controllable canonical form, then we will use the formula T it is equals to MCW. MC is my controllability matrix, which is given by equation B AB A square B A raised to n minus B, and this is my W. W we have to write down, and then we have to multiply these two matrices so that we will get T. Now after getting T, just you find out from your desired pole location the alpha 1 alpha 2 and alpha up to alpha n, and then we will use the formula to find out the state feedback matrix K. It is equals to alpha n minus 1 minus an minus 1 up to alpha 1 minus a1 t raised to minus 1. That is T inverse. That we have to find out. So this way we can find out. The K matrix. So this is our first method.